Gradually, Tian Hao sunk into a deep sleep while Lu Jinian lay beside her wide awake, staring at the ceiling in discomfort. After a while, he ripped off the blanket, climbing softly off the bed. He grabbed a box of cigarettes and left the bedroom. As he stood in front of the second-floor corridor's window, he lit up a stick and began to puff away in the cold night. After the cold wind had calmed his frustrated body, he returned back to the bedroom and laid down carefully, making sure not to disrupt Tian Hao. The moment he turned, he frowned as he saw that half of her back was out of the blanket. The warm rays of the night's light shone on her tender skin, making it appear milky white and flawless. The frustration that he had calmed down rose once again. He took a deep breath before reaching out to pull the blanket over her. While he was tucking her in, making sure that the blanket was tightly secure, his fingers accidentally brushed her skin, and shock flew through his body. He quickly tucked the blanket in before turning to face the other direction. Lu Jinian could feel her delicate warm body gravitating towards him under the blanket. The closer she got, the more frustrated he became. Before he could climb out of the bed once again, he felt warmth on his back. The next moment, he felt her entire head rubbing his back. Lu Jinian tensed, but before he could move another inch, Tian Hao hugged his waist. In that instance, Lu Jinian felt as though his breathing had stopped. He shut his eyes, taking several deep breaths, trying to calm himself. He reached for the tiny hands that were on his waist. Before he could dodge her, her head titled to the side, once again landing on his arm. Her nose landed directly in front of his chest, breathing warm air onto him, leaving him hot and impatient. Without a second thought, he pushed her to the side. Due to his violence, Tian Hao was startled awake, her eyes wide with confusion, clouded with exhaustion. In her adorable, dazed state, she murmured, "Lu Jinian, what happened?" Her voice was soft and raspy. It was as though she was blaming him. When she had called his name, she had even raised her pitch slightly, tugging at Lu Jinian's heart. He clenched his fists before finally giving up on his restraint, lowering his head to seal her lips. In a daze, Tian Hao didn't struggle, she even moaned slightly as he deepened the kiss. Lifting her slim hands, she hugged his neck. Her compliance once again threw him into a frenzy. This was probably the first time the both of them had made love with such chemistry. Lu Jinian didn't know how to describe his current state of mind. Was it relieved? Ecstatic? When it ended, he felt as though he was floating in the clouds. He collapsed onto her, taking in her scent as he lay there soaking in the afterglow. After he had finally calmed down, he slowly left her. By then, Tian Hao was already in deep sleep, her cheeks stained red from their passionate love-making. Lu Jinian reached out to caress her head lovingly before reaching for wet tissues to clean the both of them. Once he made sure she was clean, he fell asleep with her in his arms.